Hello, good people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna Mugeshe. The counselor. I'm back with a lot of strength. And I thank God for you. How are you doing? How have you been, my subscribers? You know I love you. I love those who are royal, those who are watching, those who are always there. Karibu sana. If you are new in this channel, this is the channel of hope. Consider to subscribe, consider to hit on the subscription button, consider to like and thumbs up the video if you love the video today, because our video for today is moto. Like you can see where I am filming the video from. Today I think I've overdone my makeup. But anyway, the video for today is very important. And you know what? We are talking, or I want to talk about things that in your life may never cease to be practiced. In our cultural practices, our traditions, our communities, there are things that will never stop. We've got to practice them, because if we don't practice them, or if we stop doing them traditionally, ABCD is going to happen. Don't ask me about the ABCD. Like what I'm just, look at that. This was my wedding gift during my wedding. And this is my bed. It was a gift from my parents. I'm going to talk about it. It is a present that I was given during my marriage ceremony when I was celebrating my marriage. Traditionally, in our community, this is a practice that has to be done. In my community, when a girl weds, the parents of the girl or the bride are supposed to gift them with a bed, plus other things that I'm going to show you. But the main thing I want to talk about is this bed, because I've really wanted to change it, but I can't change it. Because apparently, traditionally in our way of life, this is a bed that was gifted to you by your parents and you cannot change it. If you change it, I don't know what will happen, but I've been told not to change. I've tried to buy another one, but I can't buy. Can I change my gift, my wedding gift, my marriage gift? That is what I'm asking today, as I talk about other traditions and other cultural practices that have remained in our community, in our society, especially where I am brought up from. If you are watching from diaspora, if you are watching away from Africa, in America, or wherever, I'm going to talk about these traditions. I'm going to talk about this specific gift that I was given that I'm unable to change. Sometimes I feel it's small. I need to buy another one, but I can't. So you guys, what do you think? Do you think I should change it? Who talks to Wamuratha face to face? Traditionally, Wamuratha. Can I buy another bed and change this one that I was given during my marriage ceremony? And that is what I'm going to talk about, plus other traditions, including beadwork in our culture. And subscribe, guys. Welcome back to my channel. Consider to give a thumbs up to this video. And it is an interactive video that I want to talk about, that you can interact, that you can comment and tell me whether I can change this bed, and if I change, what will happen? And Wamuratha, where are you? If you can talk to her. And you guys, what are the other traditions that happen in your community? Welcome. I'm right back. So this is my wedding gift. This is what was given to me by my parents. And this is what I've always wanted to change, but I can't change. And if you look at it, you're going to see that traditionally, there are some things that I was, you can see a traditional muiko. For those who are watching outside Kenya and outside Africa, a muiko is a traditional spoon for cooking. Both of them, one is for for what? For frying some food, and the other one is for making some ugali. And next to it, you can see a Bible. This is exactly what I was given. I was given a kiondo, that is a traditional bag, which I don't know where it went for sure. And I was also given a traditional pot that is made of clay. And I've always wanted to, okay, I don't have a problem with the kitchen items. I don't have a problem with that Bible that you can see there. What I have a problem with is the bed. This was a gift that was given to me. I've always wanted to change it. Like you can see, it is beautiful. And I really want to change it, but I can't change it. And I don't know. So what should I do? Do you think I should change it? I've tried to ask my mom about it, but apparently I can't. So traditionally, in real sense, during the wedding, in our community, in our society, when a bride is getting married, the gift that the bride is supposed to be given is from the parents. So traditionally, the parents are supposed to give you a bed plus the beddings. And that is exactly what happens. So some of these are the traditions of our culture. These are our ways of our lives. And this is what I'm talking about, this bed that I've always wanted to change and buy another one. Probably buy a bigger one, but I can't, because traditionally this is a wedding gift that I'm given by my parents, and apparently traditionally you're not supposed to change it. Am I supposed to change it? Can I change my bed? I've tried to talk to about this to my mom, and I don't know what she tells me about it, because I've always wanted to change. I've got so many girls that we've talked to that we got married with, even my relatives, but apparently they haven't changed the bed. And you know, probably the time that you're getting married, you're given a very small bed by your parents, depending on what was there. So you've tried to change it, but you can't change it. You've had the kings and the queens types of beds that you cannot change. Can I change this bed? Can I change this gift? Can I, and if I change it, where am I supposed to take it? Because trust me, traditionally or culturally, that is what you're given by your parents. And this is our way of life. So I've been unable to change it. I've been unable to buy another one. I've been unable to change it. And if I change it, where am I supposed to take it? You know, those old women that I talk to, they ask me, where will you take it? And for your information, you guys, if you are watching from outside Africa, because there are these cultures that we share in different communities and different societies in Africa, if you change, if you're not given, if you don't win and you're not given, and something happens in that marriage of yours, or in that relationship of yours in marriage, probably something happens to your kids, something happens, you know, something wrong happens, and that something that happens touches on the traditions, and you're not given that bed, trust me, whether you wended or you never wended, that bed should be brought. Literally, as in physically, the bed must be brought to that home, and the ceremony must be held like it's a wedding that you're doing, and physically the bed comes being carried like this, not money. So if you're wedding, what happens for those who do not belong to my community? By now you know what I'm talking about. What happens is that if you are wedding and you are celebrating your marriage, they give you the money and you buy the bed that you want to buy. So as practically or literally we were given the money, we bought this bed that I've just shown you. We love the bed, yes, I love the bed. And there are so many beds that have come out, types of beds that have come out, good ones and better ones that have come out since then. And you want to change, but you can't change. Of course, I've changed the beddings. I've changed the mattress as many times that I can change. But the physical piece of wood, I can't. What is the meaning of that, guys? What is the meaning of that? Traditionally, you can't. That is what I'm told. And that is why I need someone to ask Wamuratha, should we change it? because she talks very much about those traditional things, the cultural practices in the community. What are these practices that you practice in your society, guys? What are these practices? Can you comment and tell me about these practices that are done traditionally, practices that you have to do traditionally, as I come back and I take a cup of tea? As I sort something out. And guys, don't forget that I do marriage coaching. I do marriage counseling as I talk about this. These are traditional things that I'm talking about. The traditional things that are done during marriage ceremonies. I'm not talking about changing it biblically, but I'm talking about the traditional ways of life. The other cultural practices are following up later, next, as I sort something. So book a session for counseling and coaching, that is the marriage coaching, as I do this. So yes, guys, in case you've joined me, I hope you're going to watch to the end. I'm talking about changing my wedding bed. That is my wedding gift that I was given during my wedding ceremony. And it is tradition. It's a tradition in our society, in my community, that a parent has to give you a bed plus the beddings plus the other things that I was given are these. This is a traditional spoon made up of wood. This is a traditional mwiko, that is what we call it. This is for cooking ugali. This is for what? For frying some food and for tasting. And then I was also given a traditional pot, which I don't have now. I think it broke. A traditional pot which is made up of clay, literally something that can break very fast, and it is for also for cooking. I was also given a traditional kiondo. That is, a kiondo in my society is a traditional bag which you literally carry with your back physically. You've got to do it practically in the wedding ceremony done by your parents. You're shown how to carry. That is for the lady. You're shown how to carry and how you're going to be going with it to the market. You're shown how to stir the food using, I'm talking about our traditional way of life, which in my community is the one which is remaining for sure. Plus dowry, rorashio. That is what is literally remaining, and it has to be practiced traditionally in my community. So you literally look like you're cooking. You imitate cooking, you stir the food, you taste the food with a traditional spoon, you stir the ugali. I have no problem with all this, and neither do I have a problem with that traditional gift that you've got to be given in the wedding. Those are the things that have come to the girl's parents, that is the bride's parents, and they have to do it. I don't know what will happen if I don't do it, if they don't give it. But I've said practically, if they don't give you a bed, whether you did a official wedding ceremony or a customary wedding ceremony, if anything happens in that union of yours, they have to literally and physically, in my community, bring that piece of wood, the one I'm sitting on. Those are our traditions. Yes, you've got to do that. Now, another tradition that I want to talk about, that is our way of life, that is our culture, that we still practice in my society, that is in my community, is the naming ceremony. Of course, we don't do it as a festival or a ceremony, but the naming in our community must be naming the right way. You people, do you have, which traditions do you practice? I said this is an interactive video. You can comment and tell me whether it happens in your community. I know there are people of different cultures that are watching me. Trust me, we respect each and everyone's cultural way of living. That is a way of life. We respect each other's cultures in Africa. I'm in Kenya, literally. And the way of life that I'm talking about, or the culture, traditions that are remaining in my community, is what I'm talking about concerning the wedding, the gift that you are going to be given. And the other thing is naming ceremony. You've already gotten married. Remember the pressure to get children? I've talked about it. The pressure to get married and the pressure to get children. I've done so many videos on that. You can watch. If this is your first time to watch this, please watch the pressure to get married. It's a video on its own. The pressure to get children is another video that I featured a lady who was literally had to give birth with so much difficulties because she had to give birth. After you get married, the result of getting married is giving birth to children. Those are the pressures that I've talked about. But back to the video. Yes, the gifts have to be given to you. I'm unable to do away all with my bed. I'm unable to do away with it. I'm unable to buy another one. I'm unable to change it. And the other way of life is dowry. Before you get married, if you're getting it officially or traditionally, you've got to introduce your parents. I know that is diverse. With everybody, it has to happen. You've got to introduce the both parents of the bride and the bridegroom. That is a traditional way of marriage. That is customary way of marriage. In our tradition, in our community, we call it ruratio. And then you've got to pay a dowry. Those ones have remained out in our community. Trust me. We can't do away with dowry. We met them doing it. And that is exactly what we do. It doesn't matter whether you've gotten married outside your culture. If you come to our community, and I'm double sure in other cultures, in other communities, that is exactly what happens. So just what happens in your community, for those who have been married outside their culture, outside their country, what has been happening and what changes, what cultures have you come across? Both good ones and bad ones, negative ones and positive ones. What cultural practices have you come across in your intermarriage, or if you have gotten married outside your culture? That is something else I'm going to talk about in another video. But for today, a dowry is a cultural way of living or a way of life that have remained in our community. We've done away with so many of them. But dowry, you've got to pay a price for your bride as a man. So those who are watching from diaspora, those who are watching outside Africa, this is exactly what happens. So you've got to introduce both parents. As a girl, you introduce your fiancé to your parents. The same case happens to the man. The parents meet, the two parents from both sides, that is from the bride and the bridegroom. After they meet, they do what we call kohadaidege. Ooh, that is the Germany of my community. You meet, the two parents meet for the first time. You've got to pay something. That is what we are calling the planting of the branch. To mean that, traditionally it means that the girl is taken. That is the first meeting. Traditionally, a long time ago, they used to plant a spear. You know, you put a spear at the homestead to show that somebody is taking your girl. So you plant it on the side of the girl. So today, in my community, you plant it, of course, through paying up of something of a price, and then you plant a branch, not literally. But when both parents meet, that is the first meeting is what we call you plant a branch. You pay something. The parents meet, the parents say this is what they want. And of course, another way of living in my community when it comes to marriage ceremony, your mother, your father, as a girl, is not going to present herself. He or she is not the one who is going to talk on behalf of her daughter. He or she is not the one who is going to talk on behalf of the son. You got to choose another woman or another lady and another man to speak on behalf of your parents. And it's the work of our parents. That is what they'll do. And then they speak, they meet, and they talk. And that is one way. So you can go back there and pay dowry twice, thrice, or once, depending on what you want. And that becomes ruratio, or the traditional customary marriage. If you have to officiate now through religious wedding or through Whichever way you want to go it, the civil marriage or the religious way of doing it, like the way I did, you've got to go back now and ask for a wedding. And that is now when the bride price is going to be literally written for you. How many goats? How many cows? How many he-goats? How many female goats? Yes, that is exactly what happens. I'm talking about the dowry and the bride price now. It will be literally written and you're given. And you're told this is what you're going to pay. This is what you're going to give us before you do the wedding ceremony. And in that case, in our community, before I break up or I leave, bride price is never paid enough. Because of course you can't buy a girl, you can't buy a man, it is not enough. You can't buy a life. It is just a way of living. And we say bride price never ends. You can continue paying for the rest of your life depending on what is written for you. Is it a bad thing to do? It's not a bad thing to do because we respect our ways of life. We respect our culture. And in my specific community, that is all the cultures that is remaining. The other one is naming ceremony. In our community or in our culture, if you have to name, there are ways of naming. I know there are many communities we do not name the way we name. And there are others that we share the way of living, the way of naming your children. The firstborn boy is named after the father of your husband. The firstborn girl is named after the mother of your husband. There was a lot of noise, so I have to do this so that I can see the voice and the echo. And then if you have two children, that means the boy and the girl is named on the side of your husband. Those are our traditions. Those are our ways of living. I know most people don't have that, but that still remains. The other thing is, if you have 4 children now, a boy, girl, then you'll have named on both sides. If you have one child who is a girl, named after the mother of your husband. If you have a boy, named after the father of your husband. And that is exactly what happens. Now, if you decide to change this, trust me, your parents will not allow. Because this is how they made it being done. And that is why I'm asking, can I change this? Can I have another one? Can I have a new one? And if I change it, where will I take this and who will sleep on it? And those are the traditions that I'm talking about. The other pleasant traditions that I'm talking about are the beadwork. For those who are watching me, okay, this is my smartwatch. This is not a traditional way of doing it. This is beadwork. This is our traditional way of doing things. The beadwork is done traditionally. These are the beads. These are the beads from Maasai market. The earrings are beads, and all these and other things that are making us proud of our tradition. If you can see, there is a lot of traditional ways of life, the dressing traditions. This is a pillow of a Maasai, like the one that I had another day when I was watching a video, doing a video. If you look at this is the feeling of the Maasai community, and many other things that if you want them, you can visit the Maasai market, like this. Of course, there's some other things which are not part of the traditional way of doing it. This is just making it elevated and all that. So what do you think about this video, guys? Can I change this bed? And if I change it, where am I going to take it? And who is going to sleep on it? And those are my ways, my community's way of life. That is our culture. Those are the cultural practices that are remaining in my community. So guys, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I going to do with this? Do I have to change it? What do you think? I need your advice. I need an advice from Wamuratha and anybody else who talk about these things. And what are your traditions and what has changed? What are you not practicing? And what will happen if you don't practice it and you are supposed to practice it traditionally? Has it happened to anyone? Has somebody changed the matrimonial bed or the traditional wedding gift that was given during the marriage? And if they changed, did anything happen? And that is what I'm talking about. So you guys, thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for joining me. If you love the video, thumbs up, share the video, like the video, and don't you forget to subscribe. And if you have anything that you want to talk about on the side of marriage, you know, I like these topics because that is where I am in, and I know there are so many people who are struggling about it. And welcome. You can ask me a question, you can call me for any coaching and all that. And may God bless you even as you subscribe and make this home of hope your home, your channel of hope your home. And may God bless you even as you do it. Bye.